Oh yeah. Welcome back, Toyota friends, to the channel. Today we're going to install a remote starter on this 2019 4Runner. Now, if I understand correctly, 2020 and onwards, some of the models, or maybe all, I've heard different things, have remote start embedded. But in 2019, they don't. And my wife's complaining. And so it's time to do it. It's winter and she wants remote start. Let's get it done. Now, make sure you get the correct one. So this is key start, and we have a key. This is not push button start like some of them are. Okay, it comes with a good seal. Let's open it. Okay, there's the module, there's the harness, there's the trim tool. That's nice they sent that. This goes underneath the hood to warn people that if the hood is open, that somebody could actually hit the remote start. Okay, so it says scan the QR code for instructions, and let's do that. We'll bring up our camera here, and there's the website. It just pops up right there. We'll just touch that, and here's the instructions. Okay, according to this, it looks like everything's there. The module, there's two different harnesses. There's the hood latch sensor and trim tool, and some zip ties. Okay, first things first, you got to turn the wheel. You don't have to start the car to do it if you have a little bit of muscle. See that screw right there? We're going to pull that out. We're going to pull one out on the other side. Save that for later. Now you'll want to drop your tilt wheel lever down, and then we're going to take this trim tool and kind of pry it in here if we can. Okay, there's one side. Lean over here to the other side. I'm going to pull down right here and see if I can get wedged in there. There we go. That's a little better. I'm going to hook my fingers up here and try to pull this down while we pull the other side down here. Let's get rid of the key. And that comes off just by lifting the wheel up. Okay, and there's that. Of course, we're going to reuse that. Okay, now we'll come over to this side. We want to separate this lower panel from this upper panel. We're not going to do the whole thing all the way across, just this side right here. Just need the trim tool right here. Okay, good deal. Okay, now we can access back there when we need to. Now, when you look at these harnesses, this is the one that goes on the right side, and this one will go on the left side. Now, if that looks familiar to you, it's because it looks just like an OBD2 port. And so we're going to replace the OBD2 connector with this one right here. So this one will actually go on the left side. This will go on the right side. Let's put this one in first. Now, when we get around here, this first connector that we're after is this one right here. And it's sort of behind this wire, but there's a little tab on the top there. Just pinch that down. It'll take a little bit of rocking, but out it'll come. Point it down. Now basically these two white connectors are what you're going to be putting in between here and the piece you just pulled it out of. Okay, so they only go one way. This is the male side here, this is the female side here, and here's your male side on this part, female side there. The little tab goes up, of course. Now this is the black end. This we're going to tuck straight down through here out the bottom. Okay, we'll come down here in front of the driver's seat, and right up underneath here is the OBD2 port, of course. There it is right there, and it has a little tab on both sides. You can push either one and be able to push this back and get it back behind its mounting bracket. Okay, and just put your screwdriver against it like that, push it sideways, and then it'll push back up inside. Same thing with the other side. There it goes. That's just what you're looking for. Now we'll get our other harness. Okay, now this is the harness with 4 different connectors and a whole bunch of little connectors. So this is what we're going to bring up inside of here. Now this black connector is what connects to your old OBD2 port. And you can see it's kind of a reverse OBD2 connector. So we're just going to reach up in here, put them together, click. All right, now this is your new OBD2 port right here. And so just push this harness back up inside, and we're going to put this back in place here. And that's what that looks like. Perfect. Put this little airbag down here. Maybe this will give us some working space. Okay, that worked well. Now down inside of here, there's these 3 vertical harnesses plugged in, those white ones right there. And we'll pull out the top one. We're not going to use the top one, but we'll pull out the second one and we're going to use that one. We'll just move the top one just to get it out of the way because it makes getting the second one out a little easier. Now, if you just put your right hand in on these harness connectors, they have a little tab on the right side, so you'll feel it with your thumb. You can't really see it well, but you'll be able to feel it with your thumb and just press it and then pull it out. Okay, and this little tab is right here on the left side. So if you put your right hand in, your thumb will just kind of rest right against it, and you'll be able to feel it, and you'll be able to squeeze it, and then just work it up and down, and out it comes. Okay, now we're going to take this male end right here of this longer one, the second one we pulled out, or the middle one, right? And we're going to connect it to this female end here. Okay, and go ahead and put that middle connector back in, and then don't forget to put your original first connector back in at the top. We didn't do anything with that one. Click, click, positive connection there. Good. Okay, so these remaining harness connectors here, we're going to feed around kind of to the right, right below the steering wheel, and back down right above the brake pedal. Okay, so we'll be able to come down here, and now we have our remaining wires. These are what's going to go to the module. Okay, so for programming, you got to start by resetting the module, and there's a little process for this. It's really easy though. We're going to take the 20 pin connector right here, and that's this one. If you count them all, there's 10 on the top and 10 on the bottom, and that plugs into this port right here. Before you plug it in, this is the programming button right here on this side, and so we're going to plug it in on the opposite side. So we're going to push that in and hold it, and then we're going to plug this in right here. Get the right side up, and then we'll keep holding the programming button down until the red lights flash. Okay, we can release the button and the reset's complete. Now we can connect all the remaining connectors, and that includes this little blue one, and you'll notice the little clips go to the top, and this little black one, there's several little plugs here. A couple of them we're not going to use. You'll be able to see which ones go in because they just won't fit in otherwise. That's what that's going to look like. Then we're going to take this connector right here and plug this in as well. And it doesn't hurt to give them a tug test. Just a little pull just to make sure they don't wiggle out later. Good deal. So now the process is start the vehicle, push the brake pedal down and hold it. We're going to press the programming button and release it, and then release the brake pedal. And then our LED 2 should flash green. Now it's flashing green. Okay. Now let's see if it works. Press lock 3 times. Oh yeah. Okay, we can press lock 3 more times to turn it off. Oh, sweet. Okay, we'll come in right here. You can see I still have my airbag there, and I zip tied the module right to there. Used a couple zip ties, ran them around the back side, sort of in between. On the back side, you can't see it, but it's sort of in between the plugs so that it can't slide side to side, and then just kind of snugged it up where it's snug so it doesn't bounce up and down. We live on a pretty rough road. It's a couple miles one way just getting to town, and so trying to make this pretty secure. And then just make sure that when your steering wheel goes up and down, the tilt wheel, that you're not smashing any of your wires, so make sure that's all clear back there, and zip tie them out of the way if you need to. As far as the steering column goes, the steering shaft is inside of that tube, so you don't have to worry about that rubbing or chafing on it. But there are probably other considerations. Just make sure, lay underneath here, look up inside with your flashlight and make sure that you don't have any problems. Look at range of motion, make sure nothing's going to fall down and catch around the brake pedal or anything. I don't think any of the harnesses are that long, but just zip tie everything out of the way. Nothing's worse than laying under a dash. So this connector that comes off the OBD2 connector right here, make sure it doesn't rub against the emergency brake pedal here, because as this emergency brake pedal goes up and down like that, you don't want it catching on it or braiding on it. So I just zip tied it kind of out of the way there. Okay guys, so this connector doesn't have a lot of wiggle room because of this wire. So I ended up moving it from sitting down here, because I couldn't get this bottom panel back on because it took up too much space. So I kind of routed it around behind this and then connected it back here. So I think that'll work better. Got a good solid click, seems to be in. Okay, now with the wheel in the highest position, okay. Then they say just to rock the steering wheel back and forth, turn the steering wheel a few times, make sure nothing binds, make sure the plastic's all lined back up like it was. You didn't notice? You can't tell? You can't tell what I did?
I'm looking.
Isn't that what you tell me when you come home?
Yeah.
You didn't even notice. Did you notice?
I'm looking.
So you can't see? You can't tell what it is? It does a new trick. You can't tell what the trick is?
What's the Does that fold down?
No.
Oh.
Push the lock button 3 times in a row.
Did you put a Really?
Oh!
Really?
I'm gonna break my neck. Okay.
You're the best husband ever.
Oh, okay, I gotta breathe. Okay. So, you can click it 3 more times, the lock button, it'll turn it off. But it locks your car, obviously, so when you go up to it, you have to unlock it, and you can just push the unlock button. You get in, if you push the brake without putting the key in, it'll turn it off. And also, but if you get in and you put the key in, turn it 2 clicks, don't crank it, right? Just 1, 2 clicks, just to on.
Just like the truck.
Yeah, just like the truck. Then put the brake on, it won't shut off.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
How did you do this?
Now the only caveat to this is if I'm working on the car under the hood, you can't push that button 3 times. Because I might lose my something. I don't know. Happiness?
Oh my gosh. You're the best husband ever. Oh my goodness. I would have never guessed that. How did you know I needed this?
Because you've been complaining about it.
Yeah, because it's a pain in the
And I was like,
butt.
well, maybe there's one I can buy and get the dealer to put on or something. And this is like, this takes 20 minutes. Well, it took longer than 20 minutes. Okay, so yeah, then when you park it at night or you come home, just leave your seat heaters on, your seat heaters is what they are. And then keep this on warm, put this on defrost, and turn this on high. And then shut it off. And then when you remote start it, then you can pull the key out. You can remote start it right here. There we go. Now it'll run for 15 minutes before it shuts off. In case you forgot about it and decided you didn't want to go to town or whatever. So cool.
Wow.